I did make this, so I kind of know where I'm going to put everything, but it's also been so long since I've made it. So the criteria that I had for this tier list was I was not going to include video game systems. There are no video game systems on this list. There's no Tamagotchi is not on this list. There's no handhelds. It's just tech. Okay, so here's everything that I could think of. If there's something on here, or if there's something that you remember that is not on here, I can add additional images. So if you want to like post obscure tech in chat, it's not going to add it to the full list. Like images are not saved to the website, but will be included in your download. Would LCD watches fit in here? I guess? Because a lot of people use smartwatches now. The only other thing you can think of is mini disc, but that's maybe redundant. Mini disc is weird because I feel like CDs and DVDs were always more universal than the mini disc. Visually it's redundant, but I feel like it does go in its own category. Was a PDA 2000s? Yeah, that sure is obsolete. Those electronic oh my god, I had an electronic translator. Alright, we got any last minute entries? Where do cassette Walkmans go? I don't remember why I didn't put Walkman on here. I don't know if I like found it redundant with the cassette tape or if I just forgore. I'll put it in there. So the categories we have are Bring It Back, Obsolete Who, which is like, did this actually ever go away? Top one is I Want It Back Now. The second one is, did this ever actually leave? Third category is 07, it served its time. Fourth category is Better Left in the Past. So, you know, it's obsolete and it should stay there. And then the last category is simply Before My Time. It's not necessarily the worst category, it just means I'm too young for that. So we're just gonna go chronologically with cassette tapes. So here's the thing, I know cassette tapes are like, people are actually moving back to analog. Like people are collecting cassette tapes and stuff again, which I think is kind of cool. I also a little bit worry about like the degradation of the tape itself. Like there's a reason we moved away from it, right? So I don't actually know really where I want to put it. Aesthetically, I think it would be cool to bring it back. And it kind of is getting brought back, so I guess it could potentially go in Obsolete Who. I kind of want to put it, I hate this, but I kind of want to put it in It Served Its Time, just because I feel like there are way better media distribution options than cassettes. On top of that, the only manufacturer of new cassette players makes absolutely horrible devices. Really? It sounds all staticky and it ruins the tapes faster? Ah, that's disappointing. And then next we have CDs or DVDs. They visually looked identical, so I put them in one category because, I know they have different use cases, but like, come on. I'm gonna put this in Obsolete Who, because I still use DVDs. I still watch stuff off of DVDs. I don't know, maybe I'm just old. Maybe I'm just not with it anymore. DVDs are still sold at Walmart? Alright, well, okay, then yeah, if they're still sold at Walmart, then we're gonna go in Obsolete Who. CRT TVs. Listen, they're better as heads than they are as televisions. I'm gonna put this in Better Left in the Past, if only because they are actively kind of hazardous, I think, right? Aren't there like, aren't the actual cathode rays like kind of blow uppy? The discharge problem is a thing? Yeah. Otherwise I would put it in It Served Its Time. I think I'm gonna put it in Better Left in the Past, but like if we put more stuff in Better Left in the Past, like it's gonna go in front, right? It's Better Left in the Past, but it's really close to serving its time. It's kind of nice to not walk near the TV and have all of your hair stand on end. CRT's tough because LED/LCD TVs haven't been good enough to use old media on them. What do you mean? CRTs were also zero latency devices, whereas LCDs/LEDs have 5 milliseconds plus of delay from taking the video input. Really? I didn't know that. That's interesting. The only problem with CRT TVs is their high frequency noises on startup and sometimes their passive hum. Yeah, they sure were. I kind of miss that. So the funny thing about a dial-up modem is that literally just like 3 months ago, it could have gone in obsolete who. I actually didn't know that that dial-up was still running in some places as late as 2025. Just a couple months ago, I could have potentially put dial-up in obsolete who. I think, oh, emotionally I want to put it here, but logistically, dial-up sure was a period of time where we couldn't do anything on the phone or the internet, and also screeching. But emotionally, I want to put... It's the same with the CRTs. Emotionally, I want to put it here. Logistically, it needs to go here. If Melee is still alive, CRTs are obsolete who? Let's see, these chunky 80 computers, I'm sorry, these are before my time. Aesthetically, I love them. I've drawn several, never touched one. I don't even think I've seen one of these in real life. Nokia brick phone? Oh, the brick. The brick served its time. The brick gets the 07s. The brick served its time and it served it well. The brick was a soldier. The brick deserves the salute. I put those 80 computers in better left in the past. Yeah, they probably, if I was old enough to have ever encountered one of these in real life, it would probably go here. But I have to put it in before my time because it was so far before my time, I literally wasn't even alive. Used some over the years, but they're so clunky. Some later CRTs can have input latency as well, such as later CRT projector systems. Speaking of projectors, wait, you know what I have to put on here? Sorry, I just had a blast from the past. We're putting the overhead slide projectors. You know, those like film ones? The ones with the transparency film? The school overhead projector. Yeah. You said projector system and it triggered me. It triggered my like middle school sleeper agent awakening. Neurons activated. Yeah, fax machine. I don't know where fax machines would go. I think fax machines are better left in the past, but also aren't like hospitals and stuff still using them? Logically, they could go here. Are they still in use? I don't know. I think they're better left in the past. Everything's on my chart now. They're required for government use. Well, I'm not the government. I think they're better left in the past. Ooh, the flip phone. I think the flip phone also deserves, well, I don't know. I kind of want a flip phone. I kind of want to bring the flip phone back. I think this is our first bring it back. I just want to like slam my flip phone shut. I don't want to talk to you, Mom. Click. Also, a lot of smartphones, like Samsung with the Galaxy Flip, people crave the flip phones. We now have flip smartphones, so you may sort of get your wish. Yeah. I think the thing with the flip smartphones, I don't like the seam down the middle. You have to be real careful with that hinge. You can't like slam it shut the same way you could with the little like clamshell. It's just not the same. I want keyboards back on phones. When I was a teenager, I had one of these like slider keyboard phones. Should I put this on the list? I miss those slider phones so much. Yeah, so do I. I miss the full keyboard. It was called it was like a multimedia phone. It was a very, very brief window between like standard flip phone and a smartphone. They were popular for such a narrow frame of time that I didn't know whether to mention them. I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna put it on because I have nostalgia. Floppy disks. Floppy disks were just barely not before my time. I think they were better left in the past. I'm gonna put it pretty high up on better left in the past, though. Emotionally, I'm here for it. However, we need more data than that. Oh, at Ishokan, I saw a guy who so he bought one of my keychains. He bought my Save the Past floppy disk keychain, and then
time for the water.
And then they put it on their camera, and they showed me that their camera is, I don't remember what model it was, but it was a camera that actually saves all of its data to a floppy disk. So literally he ejected a floppy disk from his camera, and it had my keychain hanging on it, and it was so cool. He was like, I found the perfect spot for it, that I loved the tactile feel of using floppy disks. I have memories of floppy disks. I was like, it's almost before my time, but also I feel like, I don't know, I feel like we just need, you can't put data on this, you can't put as much data on this as like we use for like a single PNG at this point. I don't think I need to say a word about where this goes. Tech needs to be fun again. Make tech fun again. That's all I want. The colorful IMAX, we need them. Let's see, Polaroid instant cameras. I'm gonna put this in obsolete who because literally they're still made. It's like, it's not the same aesthetic, although I think there are some retro ones that are designed to emulate this aesthetic. But literally we still have same companies making the same stuff. Very, very slightly different technology, I think. Like, slightly different sizes, but we still have instant cameras. We still have Polaroids. Okay, do I lump all MP3 players in with iPods? I think I'm going to. See, it's interesting doing this now that, like, going analog with your technology has become kind of a trend in the past couple of months. Like, a lot of people are getting old iPods. I'm gonna put this in obsolete who because I literally still use my iPod from 2008. It was 80 gigabytes, and I don't think I ever filled any of that up because I don't actually listen to that much music. If I didn't still use my iPod and, like, I don't know about how long the like trend of going analog is going to be. I would probably put it here if I didn't still literally use my iPod, but we're gonna put it here. Let's see. Good old, like, Dell Tower computer. Where am I gonna put you? I kind of think this served its time. Like, it's classic. Would I put it above the Nokia brick? Hang on. I think the Nokia brick needs to take first place for it served its time. I think I would do this. I think I would put it in this order. The Nokia brick is God's toughest soldier, so that's gotta be first place and it served its time. But I honestly think this was just such, like, a staple for so long. The PC is specifically Windows 95 or 90. I am not referencing a specific operating system. It's more so like the CRT monitor with the, like, hard disk, the very noisy wind up hard disk. Kind of just that whole era. Beige Tower, yeah. Beige Tower category computer. I also desperately need a cough drop. If it sounds like I'm gargling marbles, it's because I am. I'm gonna try to talk around this cough drop in my mouth and probably not be very successful. Beepers are before my time. I don't really know if I have anything else to say about that. Oh, the good old cassette boombox. We literally have one of these in the closet. I do, however, think it may have served its time. You're lucky if it works. I haven't touched it in, like, I think ever. Ones from the 80s and 90s are starting to become coveted again, mostly for the audio output. If it's got good bass, people want it. Interesting. Rotary phones you would think would be before my time, but my parents actually put a rotary phone in the basement, and I had to use it. And I had anxiety around this thing because I was like, I didn't understand how dialing people's phone numbers worked, and I didn't realize that, like, it would, you know, basically wait until you had dialed all 10 numbers. I was so anxious about this thing because I was like, what if I didn't finish dialing the number all, and it calls it anyway, and then it calls the wrong number, and it calls some random person because I didn't put all the numbers in because I'm slow. I was very young, so I hated using this thing. Better left in the past, if only for the trauma that it gave me. Yeah, let's see, VHS tapes. I think VHS solidly served its time. I do know a bunch of folks that are, like, collecting VHS tapes again. I think the analog movement is, I feel like I'm in a little bit of a bubble on the internet. I think the analog movement is not popular enough for it to be an obsolete who, but I definitely think it solidly served its time. I do, however, think vinyls are an obsolete who, because there's a lot of vinyl collectors. Like, it's still, like, genuinely a thing. It's not even like a, oh, let's revive this old tech kind of thing. It is still genuinely just like, sure, this is old, but it's not obsolete. I think actually it is the pinnacle of obsolete who, like, kind of similar, well, all three of these still get manufactured. A lot of new 400 to 700 vinyl players out there on top of it, yeah. Like, vinyls are genuinely such a collector's item that, like, I almost debated whether or not I should put this on the list even, because they are still a very modern thing. Okay, so we have the portable CD player. I kind of think it served its time. I don't know. I don't know if it served its time or if it's better left in the past. I would say it would only be better left in the past for the sake of the fact that it, like, you couldn't really, like, they were portable, but not that portable, and God forbid you, like, put it in a bag and it got a little bit jostled. It depends on if you had a model that didn't have anti-skip. Yeah, I think it served its time. All right, the corded phone. I'm gonna lump corded and cordless, but just these kinds of phones that had, like, a built-in answering machine. Where would I put this? I kind of just feel like it served its time. It was just the de facto phone of its time. I think that's where I'm gonna put it. And in my age bracket, it was just kind of like, this was just the default for a very long time. Scientific calculator. I don't even know why I included this on the list, to be honest. I don't know if it's still used in, like, schools. I'm sure, like, graphing calculators, because, like, phones can't do the same, like, graphing stuff that the big fancy graphing calculators did. So I don't actually know if these are actually obsolete. These are still used in schools. Your friend's daughter that's in high school has this on her required to buy list for school this year. All right, maybe we put it in obsolete who then? This specific alarm clock. Whatever model this alarm clock is. The brown 80s alarm clock. I feel like, based on the fact that we literally have one of these in the bedroom and Naka uses it as his alarm clock every morning, I feel like it has to go in obsolete who, but I might be the only one in that category. It's definitely been made redundant by smartphones because every smartphone has an alarm function on it. Bring back analog bell alarm clocks? Oh no! Ah! Oh, the pain. I don't know. I like a good digital alarm clock. I feel like this needs its own category. Wait, what if I do that? Can I do that? This one is just going to be called It Should Be Obsolete, but ... And we're just going to put this on its lonesome here. Maybe I should put the iPod there too. I feel like it's only fair of me to put this here too. There's one for each of us. We each have our own vices. We each have our own obsolete tech that we're clinging to desperately. LCD watch. I think served its time. I think this just kind of falls into the category of, like, this was just the default for its time. I think, okay, the Nokia brick phone served its time like a veteran. The rest of these were just the default. I had a watch like that. It changed colors in the sun. Ooh, that's kind of neat. The mini disc. I don't even know where to put mini disc on this. I think I'm gonna put it in Bring It Back. I think it's just weird enough that it, like, doesn't actually belong in any category, but it's also weird enough that, like, it's cool. It's novel. It's weird. I want it. Bring it back. I think it falls in the make tech fun again category. Minidisc is extremely underrated. It was legitimately a decent data transfer device. I think I've never used a minidisc actually. I think it was more popular outside of the United States. Your brother had one. He used it as a flash drive more than a music player. Oh, that's interesting. Personal digital assistant. That's just a phone now. Yeah, it's super outdated. I think this has to go in better left in the past. It might be because I'm young enough that, like, I wasn't a working professional in the 90s. I was but a wee bab. PDA is just a smartphone without the phone. Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put it in before my time. They were devices that existed when I was alive, after I was born, but I was so young that I never would have used anything like that. Digital dictionaries. I think the digital, well, yeah, I think digital dictionary. I think the little, like, dictionary device is probably better left in the past. First off, this is just Google now. You just Google what words mean now. Second, I feel like this had such a niche use case. Like, either I was using a paper dictionary, or, like, after that, you just looked stuff up on the computer. I will say, I did have a little pocket translator that was basically exactly this, but it translated between English and Spanish, and I did cheat on my Spanish tests in middle school using it. Oops. All right, so we had the CD Walkman on here, Discman. But we also have the cassette version on here. I think technically this is kind of before my time. No, because the boomboxes, I had a cassette boombox, and this was after that. I've just never used these. There's a collector's market for tape Walkmans right now. They're highly sought after. Yeah, a lot of people are getting back into analog media and like trying to collect. I think I need to put it in its served its time. I'm gonna put it next to the cassette tapes though, because they're adjacent, I think. Tapes sound grungy, but I appreciate how robust it was compared to the CD Walkmans. Yeah. I never was I think I had like the cassette boombox, but by the time I as a child was like up and about and mobile and going places, everything was like portable CDs now at that point. So it's weird because it's not really before my time, but like it kind of, I don't know. I think I just need to put it in it served its time next to the cassette tapes and like move on. I think the overhead projector is better left in the past. Even at the time, even when these were like the only available option, they were not a good option. They never worked right. The bulbs were always going out. Everything was blurry. There was always like something wrong with the transparency film or something like that. The focus was not focusing. These things were always a nightmare. I remember this from high school. They sometimes worked, sometimes didn't. Yeah. You had to rely on markers that would run out when you had to write on the transparent. Yeah, the dry erase marker, like, was it dry erase or was it like a special kind of transparency marker? I think most projectors used wet erase markers. That makes sense. The niche thing for this list is the Ditto machine. The thing that made blue copies of things that were all splorchy. The what now? I'm gonna look this up. I've never seen one of these. I did, however, use... My parents had this thing that had the, whatever like pressure film is in like paper checks. My parents had like a whole ream of paper that was just that, and I was obsessed with that stuff. The schools in your area were using Ditto machines right up until the late 1990s. I'm gonna be honest, I have never seen a Ditto machine, and I guess I could put it on this list. It would just go in before my time, though. But just know that it definitely goes in before my time. Just imagine it like right here. So our last item is the keyboard slide phone. I think it's got a nestle right next to the flip phone. I don't know which one of these I want more. I had both of these at some point in my teenagerhood. I think I liked this one better, but this one is more iconic. But they're gonna go right next to it. They're both gonna go and bring it back. Okay, so I have the tier list downloaded. I'll put my tier list as well as the link to the public version of this tier list after I add the new items. I'll put both of those in the Discord if anybody else wants to, like, I don't know, make one and compare it with mine.